Thanks, John. Greetings from Algona. It is opening night of the high school girls basketball season for the Forest City Indians. And we're here in Algona for that. Hello, everybody. Zarin Egestal with you high above the gymnasium floor here at Algona High School on the home side, getting set for Forest City and Algona. As we mentioned, it is the opening night for the Forest City girls basketball team. A new look Forest City girls basketball team. We'll talk about that as we go on throughout this evening. But, of course, missing some key players from last year's team after graduation, though some new ones going to step up and fill into those roles. Should be an exciting time here in Algona tonight. The 51st season of Forest City girls basketball, and we're going to have a lot of fun with you this evening. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back in 30 seconds. We're going to hear from our pregame show sponsor, Kingland Construction Service in Forest City. We're so thankful for Eric and his crew and all they do for us here on KIOW and for Forest City Indian High School Athletics. Thank you again. Kingland Construction Service is the sponsor of today's pregame show. This is Forest City girls basketball from KIOW. Kingland Construction Service is sponsor of today's pregame show. Well, let's start with this. If you're trying to get with us on the video stream, we're working on it. Unfortunately, when we're on the road, when we're at home, we know that we're going to have access to steady internet. Unfortunately, when we're on the road, we're at the mercy of what is available here in the gymnasium in Algona, and unfortunately, we're exploring some different avenues and continuing to work on that. But hang with us if you're trying to catch us via the video stream as we go on throughout this evening, and hopefully we'll have that available for you by the time that we tip off. Well, one of the biggest glaring things coming into this season, and before we start talking about these two teams as a whole, Forest City in Algona, one of the things that you're gonna notice, and you've probably heard about it, but shot clocks for the first time in high school girls and boys basketball. We're gonna see that and how that plays out so far tonight. Shot clock, 35-second shot clock is above the rim there. Those that are on the video stream right now can see that. And we'll see how that factors. Really, last night, Algona played New Alfonda here last night. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. The Bulldogs taking on the Mustangs in New Alfonda, and it really did not play a factor. And that was one of the biggest reasons in watching last night's game. Kind of what I kept an eye on was how big of a factor is that shot clock going to be? Is it going to make a difference? And to tell you the truth, it made a difference in a few series is here or there. There was probably 7 or 8 times I counted the shot clock was under 10 seconds, maybe only a couple times that the shot clock was under 5 seconds in that game. Now, granted, New Alfonda, Algona, that game got ugly pretty quickly, and there was a lot of running around up and down the court. So in a game that we're expecting to be fairly contested tonight here between Forest City and Algona, how will that shot clock play? I've seen a few other games, a few other contested games, really have not seen much of a notice of problem when it comes to the shot clock. But as we go on throughout the season, we will see and we will notice that. Well, if you're looking at Forest City from the Indians' perspective, again, a new look Forest City team as well. One of the two most glaring factors, Forest City without a couple of stars from a year ago, and most notably Shea Dillevue, who's playing basketball now down in St. Louis, a holder of many records in the Forest City record book. Will finish third all time in scoring, first in total rebounds, offensive rebounds, made field goals, games played. Just an incredible career for Shea Dillevue, now starting as a freshman at the NCAA Division II level. Huge loss for the Forest City girls basketball team when it comes to scoring and rebounding. Though the other loss for the Indians, Regan Helgeson, was phenomenal last year for Forest City in a comeback in her senior season, and was phenomenal for Forest City. Those two combined for the Indians last year made roughly 50% of the points for Forest City and the seniors in Shea Dillevue and Regan Helgeson. Together they scored 631 points of the 1,282 points that Forest City scored throughout the year. So just about 50% of Forest City's scoring came from those two from last year. Algona, on the other hand, a team that Forest City saw twice last year, once in the regular season, a game that went in favor of Forest City quite well. came back in the postseason. We talked about that before that postseason game. We knew Algona was going to be a much improved team. They were exactly that. They were a much improved team, and they gave Forest City fits. They actually, Forest City was trailing Algona at one point in that game, in that regional quarterfinal matchup. Forest City had a ton of trouble in the regional tournament, and not because it was anything wrong with Forest City, but they got some really good teams. Algona was great by the time we got to the regional tournament. Pocahontas area was a phenomenal team in the semifinals, and of course West Lyon, who got the Indians in that regional championship game, went on to the state tournament. Obviously a very good team as well. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We'll talk more about the Algona Bulldogs. We'll talk more about the Forest City Indians. It's the opening night of the Forest City girls basketball season. The Algona Bulldogs played last night, as we mentioned, against Newell Fonda, falling in that contest, so they come in at 0-1. We'll take a break. We'll come back in about 3 minutes. We'll have more here from Algona High School. This is Indian girls basketball from KIOW.
Support for Forest City Sports comes from Edward Jones Financial Advisors, Amy Ryan and Patrick Schoenhoven of Forest City. Edward Jones is a financial services firm exclusively serving individual investors, offering a range of investments, including certificates of deposit, stocks, mutual funds, taxable and non-taxable bonds. Additional information available at edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC. Non-taxable bonds may be subject to state, local, or alternative minimum tax.
Pritchard Family Auto Stores have 2 locations in Forest City to serve Forest City fans. Chrysler of Forest City offers Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep products, and Forest City Auto Center offers a full line of GM. See Forest City Auto Center on Highway 69 North and Chrysler Forest City on Highway 69 South.
Ready to sell your home? First Choice Realty is here for you. There are more homes needed to meet the demand of our pre-qualified buyers. Contact Bethany Ferris, Mary Ferris, Barb Rockow, or Teresa Combs at 641-585-2404. First Choice Realty of Forest City.
The 3M Distribution Center of Forest City. The team at 3M wishes our area athletes good luck and good health this season. Like any good team, working together brings out great results on the field or in the warehouse. The 3M Distribution Center of Forest City.
NSB Bank wishes the Indians good luck for the latest financial products and services with a community touch by local decision makers. Stop into your NSB branch location in Titonka, Forest City, Thompson, Mason City, or Northwood. NSB Bank, we're here for you.
Member FDIC equal.
For free. Learn more at nyac.edu.
Forest City Auto is your Napa Auto Care Center where we work on all types of vehicles and guarantee our work with a 2-year part and labor warranty. With free pickup and delivery, we're the place to call. And if you don't talk to Cheyenne or Lorena, you've called the wrong place. Forest City Auto.
You're listening to Forest City Indian Sports on Mix 107.3 KIOW and online at KIOW.com.
Welcome back here on KIOW, live at KIOW.com. Zarin Egestal with you from Algona High School as we get set for Forest City Algona in the opening night of girls basketball for Forest City. As we mentioned earlier, the Algona girls, they got started last night as they were back on this home floor hosting Newell Fonda, a team that's won a few state championships in Class 1A over the last few years. They fell to MMCRU in the semifinals in an upset in the Class 1A semifinals last year and finished there in that semifinals. MMCRU then went to the championship and lost to Bishop Garrigan, who is the reigning state champion, crosstown rival here of these Algona Bulldogs, the defending Class 1A champion. We're going to see them a couple of times this year. Yeah, just kind of a not very good night for the Algona Bulldogs here at home against Newell Fonda last night. 82-25 was the final score in that contest. And honestly, you know, to open up the game, Algona was right there. Algona played with them. It was 13-9 in the first couple of minutes. Now you're saying, it's the first couple of minutes, but still, I mean, you're talking about the first couple of minutes against a really good team like Newell Fonda. And then Newell Fonda went on some kind of a crazy run. It went from 13-9 and just blew up from there. 40s, Newell Fonda was just on a run at that point and kind of just had their way and enforced their will on the Algona girls last night. An Algona team that honestly did not lose at too much as far as, what most teams would lose when it comes to a season. Algona is actually bringing back a large core of their team from last year. Maddie Hilbert is the big key loss for Algona. 22 games last year. She made 32 threes. That was 36%. 63 rebounds, had 115 points. That's really the only key loss for this Algona team from last year. Otherwise, they're going to bring back sophomore Lauren McLaughlin, who is going to play a lot tonight as a sophomore, played a lot as a freshman. You got Alea Perry, who's a Division II volleyball commit. We'll talk about that, but she's going to be kind of their leader. She's had 157 rebounds last year and 32 blocks. That's an incredible number for her stat. Lillian Etherington, the Etherington girls have always been key here at Algona, whether it's softball, whether it's basketball. So we're going to see a lot of Lillian Etherington, really senior out there tonight. Kaylee Carroll played in 22 games last year for this squad, and then Tora Solbach. She was kind of that scrappy player. Had 39 steals, shot 18 of 31 from the free throw line. Did commit 65 turnovers last year, but had over 100 points for Algona. She's now in her senior year as well. So some key pieces. They scored 56 points per game last year. Forest City scored 53 points per game last year. They shot 39% from the field. Forest City shot 37% from the field. Forest City had 30 rebounds per game last year. Algona 35 rebounds per game last year. Algona they had a not too bad of a season. Finished third in the North Central Conference, 11-11 overall. They were 10-4 in conference play. Of course, Clear Lake led that conference at 14-0, followed by Hampton-Dumont Cal, and then this Algona team. So really an Algona team that I think thinks that they can be pretty good this year and maybe compete with Clear Lake, with those top teams of the NCC for a shot at the NCC title. Well, that will be only time will tell about that, but should be a really fun game tonight between Forest City and Algona. We're just a few minutes away from tip-off and starting lineups. We're going to take another quick break. We'll come back in 2 minutes. Forest City and Algona coming your way in just a couple of minutes here on KIOW.
Hy-Vee in Forest City is a proud supporter of the Forest City Indians. Stop in and check out their pharmacy. It's built for you. No waiting in lines for the pharmacy. The pharmacy will be waiting for you. Hy-Vee is your full-service, employee-owned grocery store here in Forest City. Go Indians from Hy-Vee. Malin Egg Service of Forest City is a proud supporter of Forest City High School athletics. Nate Malin is with you from the word go, from planting to
clinic in Forest City. Miller Pharmacy is also open. We'll be ready for you. No need to wait. Miller Pharmacy of Forest City.
FCIS Insurance is proud to support our local athletes throughout the year. Let FCIS be your partner, not just your agent, helping you with all your insurance needs. With multiple carriers, we can get you the best coverage for the best price. Call us today at 800-331-1520. Good luck, Indians, from FCIS Insurance.
Top Dead Center Truck Equipment of Forest City. Top Dead Center is a full-line Western dealer with blades and snow control equipment. They also carry truck accessories of all kinds, fifth wheel hitches, LED lights, and more. Call 641-512-5529. Top Dead Center Truck Equipment in Forest City.
You're listening to Indian Sports on KIOW and online at KIOW.com.
Welcome back here on KIOW, live at KIOW.com. Zarin Egestal with you from Algona as we get set for tip-off of the opening contest for the Forest City girls basketball season as the Indians get set to take on Algona. This is the 50th This is the 50th meeting all time between these two schools. Forest City and Algona meeting for the 50th time this year here, and we might see 51. We've already talked about how often these two teams will meet in the postseason, and this will be meeting. 5'6", number 2 is Colette Logus, a junior guard. Number 3 is a 5'4" guard, Emma Anderson, a sophomore forward at 5'10", a sophomore. Number 4, Bethany Warren, a junior guard. Number 5 at 5'7", Jaden Jerome. And number 22, a senior guard at 5'4", is Carly Lambert. The Indians are coached by Matt Erpelding, who is in his 20th season coaching girls basketball as the head coach when it comes to girls basketball. He's coached a couple of years as an assistant, a couple of years as a boys basketball coach, but 20th year coaching girls. He has won 274 career wins. He has 168 career losses. He is in his 5th season at Forest City. He has accumulated a 61-32 record in 5 seasons at Forest City. The Indians are 0-0, first game of the season for Forest City, the 51st season all-time for the Forest City girls basketball program. Kingland Construction Service is tonight's pregame show. They sponsored it, and we are proud and thank you, Kingland Construction Service. They're proud of North Iowa and love to support the area in many ways. We need to build a house, outer building, or even remodel. Call Kingland Construction Service today at 641-585-0101. Algona and Forest City will have their benches on the far side with the scorer's table and the Forest City crowd on the far side. We're on the near side with the Algona crowd upstairs. The Bulldogs are in all white jerseys with white shorts. Algona across the chest in red. Numbers on front and back, those are in red. Forest City in their road red jerseys. Forest City across their chest in white. Numbers on front and back also in white. The tip is won by Algona. They're going to shoot to the right side of your radio dial. We are underway. This is Solbach, top of the key. She's going to drive in through 2 defenders, and she scores. Tora Solbach, nice move through 2 defenders. She's going to weave right through Forest City, and it's a 2-0 lead for Algona with 7:38 to play in the opening quarter. Carly Lambert's going to wind up for 3. That is good. Carly Lambert knocks down her first 3 of the game, and the Indians have retaken the lead. It is now 3-2 Forest City with 7:25 to play in the opening period. Across the line comes Solbach. Forest City trying to get a trap near the top of the key near half court. Now they will get a steal. It's poked away, picked up by Jaden Jerome. Here come the Indians. Back to the left side of your radio dial. Emma Anderson, right wing. She'll bring it back to the top of the key. 7 minutes to play first quarter. Now it's Colette Logus. Logus to the right side. Lambert's going to try for another one. This time it's no good. It hits the cord that's suspending the hoop, and it'll be out of bounds. And so it'll be a turnover here to Algona with 7 minutes to play in the first, and the Indians lead 3-2. Solbach brings it across half court. This is Perry at the free throw line, gives it off to Etherington. Etherington swings the basketball to Van Otterloo. Inside to Perry. Her shot no good. McLaughlin turnaround on the rebound. No. Rebound Jaden Jerome, and the Indians are off to the races. Back to the left side of your radio dial. Here's Jerome. Now Anderson top of the key. Anderson drives inside to the third block. Gives it back Logus. Logus jumper. Free throw line. No. And it's going to go out of bounds off of Bethany Warren. And it will go back to Algona with 6:33. As we mentioned in the pregame show, if you're just joining us, we have not mentioned the shot clock yet. As we mentioned in the pregame show, but haven't mentioned it during play because, as we've seen so far with the girls' basketball games that have been played thus far, really not much of a factor. Here's a 3. McLaughlin in the corner. She's going to can it. Lauren McLaughlin adding to the three-point jumper to her game. Didn't see much of that last year for Algona, the sophomore. Now Jaden Jerome going to try for a 3. Yes, she answers. And the Indians are back in the lead. Forest City, 2 field goals made. Both of them are triples, and they lead 6-5 with 6 minutes to play in the first. Perry, top of the key. Perry, cross court to Solbach. Solbach trying to go inside to Perry, nearly taken away by the Indians. McLaughlin, she's going to drive, jumper, left-hand layup. No. Rebound, Perry puts it back up, and she scores. Perry just outreached the Forest City defenders, and Algona back in the lead 7-6, 5:41 to play in the first quarter. Here's Colette Logus. Logus will drive inside, try to feed it to Anderson. It's stolen away. That pass tipped away by Van Otterloo. Van Otterloo will feed it up to Lillian Etherington. Etherington, now Solbach into the corner. McLaughlin going to pull up for 3. Yes. Lauren McLaughlin hits her second 3 of the game. And Algona has their largest lead at 10-6 with 5:19 to play in the first. Anderson now to Colette Logus. Logus to Carly Lambert, top of the key. Lambert will try for a 3. That is no good off the front of the iron. And the rebound will go to Algona. Forest City not quite as tall as this Algona team, and the Indians are going to force a turnover as they had Etherington trapped, and she's going to step on the out-of-bounds line here on the near side, and Forest City will get the basketball back. Inbound pass comes to Colette Logus across the big Bulldog logo at center court. Now to Bethany Warren, top of the key, Lambert. Lambert with the basketball, man-to-man pressure here for Algona. They're going to stay in that. Coach McLaughlin, Noel McLaughlin, he preaches man-to-man defense. He will probably hardly ever, if at all, see this Algona team go into a zone. Colette Logus in the lane. Kicks it out. Lambert looking for a three. No. And the rebound is picked up by McLaughlin. So McLaughlin will bring it across the court. 4:33 to play first quarter. 10-6. Algona in the lead. Solbach drives in, gives it off to Perry at the free throw line. Back to Solbach on the left wing. Solbach, she's trying to drive around Colette Logus. Good defense there by Logus for the Indians. Now it's out to Etherington. Etherington back to Solbach, left wing. Solbach looking to drive. Has it stolen away by Jaden Jerome. She'll feed up to Colette Logus. Indians are running. This is what Forest City is going to do well this year. They're going to move. They're going to run. They do a lot of running. And Colette Logus is short on her shot on the transition jumper there. No good. And Algona will get it back. In the corner, looking for another three in that corner. No good this time. Was Van Otterloo. 2 threes made in that far corner from McLaughlin. Van Otterloo's attempt no good. Forest City's got it back. 3:46 to play in the first. 10-6 Bulldogs over the Indians. Colette Logus on the left wing. Logus with the basketball. We'll give it off to Bethany Warren, top of the key. Warren's got some space to Lambert. Lambert, free throw line. Brings it back out to the top of the key, now to the right wing. Jaden Jerome, 6 on the shot clock. And it's going to be stolen away by Algona. 6 on the clock there. Algona will get a steal. First time we've seen that shot clock under 5. Here's McLaughlin for another 3. This time it's no good. And Forest City will find the rebound. Across the half-court line comes Warren. Warren to Carly Lambert. She's going to try for a 2. No. 3:07 to play in the first quarter. 10-6. Algona still in the lead. Forest City has led a couple of times, but the Bulldogs knocked back-to-back threes with McLaughlin to take the lead 10-6. Here's Solbach, free throw line. She'll drive. Right hand, no. Too strong. Perry rebound, puts it back up. Also no good. And the rebound will go out to Colette Logus with 2:47 to play in the first. Across the half-court line, Logus. To the right side, Carly Lambert. Lambert with the basketball. Lambert gives it off to Jerome, top of the key. We've seen no subs in this game so far. We've played almost 6 minutes of basketball. Here's Anderson. Anderson at the free throw line. Back to Lambert. Lambert drives to the free throw line. Now she hands it back to Anderson. They're playing catch along the free throw line, and they lose it. Perry is going to steal it away from the Indians. Here come the Bulldogs in white back across the half-court line. Solbach's going to pull up for a 3. It is no good. It misses everything. Will go out of bounds and be a Forest City basketball. We'll have substitutions with 2:15 to play here in the first quarter as the Indians will bring in their senior Lily Nelson along with freshman Hayden Brown. Hayden Brown had a great showing for the Forest City Indians in that curtain raiser game in the JV game. And she's going to get her first varsity action now as a freshman for the Indians. Has seen action in now 3 sports for Forest City. Softball, volleyball, and basketball. Here is Nelson. Gives it off to Jaden Jerome, top of the key. 1:55 to play here in the first quarter. Colette Logus has it back towards half court. A 10 on the shot clock. At the free throw line, Nelson now back to Brown. Brown's going to pull up for 3. This one's no good. Off the right side of the rim, Forest City has gone floor. Nelson's got it for Forest City, and the Indians will have a steal with 1:30 to play in the first quarter. Nelson across the half-court line. Nelson feeds inside to Brown. There's a collision, and the basket. And the Indians, it's Schmidt. Gives it back to Solbach. 16 on the game clock. City 10 will come back. Forest City girls basketball from KIOW.
Kingland Construction Services is a proud supporter of trades-based education programs like apprenticeships, the Building Trades Academy at the John V. Hansen Career Center, and internships through NIAC. These programs also have debt-free options available. Find out more by calling Kingland Construction Services at 641-585-0101.
WCTA is committed to providing local phone service, high-speed internet, and the most reliable digital TV. They proudly support local schools, events, and charities. Their employees are your friends and neighbors who live.
Welcome back here to Algona High School. Forest City will start with the basketball, and the Indians will see some different athletes in here. Some of the younger athletes getting a chance here in the second quarter. And Solbach's got a steal. Solbach looking for 2, and she is fouled. Count the basket. Geeson comes all the way across the court. It's Forest City first in the game. The Indians will give it right back to Algona. Solbach misses the free throw. Indians unable to corral the rebound. 6:36 to play. Bound to the backcourt again. 20 seconds on the shot. It's going to be Geeson. Geeson picks up her set throw line to shoot 2. The first free throw for Perry is no good. Algona last year as a team shot 54% from the free throw line. Perry.
Available at edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC. Non-taxable bonds may be subject to state, local, or alternative minimum tax.
You're listening to Forest City Indian Sports on Mix 107.3 KIOW and on
10 points in the second quarter to get 2 goals. 6 points out of Jaden Jerome with 2 3-point baskets. Hayden Brown, the freshman.
City. You're listening to
Back in the lane. Now she has to kick back out top of the key. This is Van Otterloo. Van Otterloo to Solbach. Makes one lady miss. Kicks it out to Colette Logus. Emma Anderson. 6:21 to play third quarter. Indians trail by 2. Haven't led since it was 6. Throw line. Anderson's first free throw is up. Jaden Jerome with the basketball. Carly Lambert with the basketball. Lambert gives it off to Anderson, top of the key. Drive, Logus for 2. She's fouled. Reset the shot clock. The foul for Algona goes on Van Tiger.